It's the most iconic fast food chain on earth. Golden arches glowing from over 40,000 plus locations, 70 million customers served every single day. That's 1% of the planet biting into burgers, fries, and Happy Meals daily. But here's the twist. McDonald's didn't become a global titan by selling burgers. In fact, McDonald's is not even a food company. It's something far more powerful. This is the shocking story of how McDonald's became one of the world's largest commercial landlords, hiding in plain sight, and how billions are made, not from burgers, but from bricks, land, and leverage. Walk into any McDonald's and you think you're entering a fast food joint, but in reality, you're stepping onto a real estate investment. Because behind every Big Mac sold, McDonald's is quietly collecting rent. Back in the 1950s, Ray Kroc was expanding McDonald's like wildfire, but it was Harry Sonborn, the company's first CEO, who dropped the bombshell strategy. He famously said, "We are not in the hamburger business. We are in the real estate business." That one line changed the game. Instead of just franchising restaurants, McDonald's began buying the land underneath them, then leasing that land to its own franchisees. So every time a new McDonald's opened, the operator didn't just pay royalties, they paid rent to McDonald's. It was like building an army of tenants, flipping burgers, while funneling rent straight into headquarters. But how did McDonald's afford to buy land again and again, yet without millions in the bank? Ray Kroc and Sonneborn built a genius structure, a separate company called Franchise Realty Corporation. This entity would buy the land for each new McDonald's, then lease it back to the franchisees. To fund it, they used bank loans. But here's the kicker. Those loans were backed by 20-year franchise lease agreements. To banks, that was guaranteed cash flow. It was a masterclass in leverage. McDonald's used other people's commitment to secure loans, then used those loans to buy land, and charged the very people who guaranteed it rent. All upside. No flipping burgers required. So why were franchisees willing to sign such expensive long-term deals? Because McDonald's offered something most businesses couldn't: certainty. A billion-dollar brand, national marketing, bulk supply deals, proven systems. It was the ultimate plug-and-play business. Yes, rent and royalties were high, but the average McDonald's does over $2.9 million in annual sales. That's why people lined up to become franchisees, despite the heavy costs. They saw it as a cash machine, and McDonald's owned the vault. Today, McDonald's owns or controls the land for over 55% of its stores, and owns the actual buildings for nearly 80%. That's $40+ billion in commercial real estate. A burger chain owns more land than most banks, retailers, and hotel chains. In 2021 alone, rent from franchisees generated $8.4 billion. That's nearly a third of all company revenue. And unlike food, rent doesn't expire, it doesn't spoil, it just flows every month, rain or shine, recession or boom. Each franchisee pays royalty fees, usually 4 to 5% of total sales. Rent, often 8 to 15% of monthly sales, plus a base. That's 2 money streams from every store, a slice of the sales, and rent from the ground the store sits on. Meanwhile, franchisees handle operations, staff, training, and supplies. McDonald's just collects. It's a passive income empire, disguised as a burger chain. Every new location isn't just about foot traffic, it's about property value. A busy corner in the suburbs, a highway exit that's about to explode in development. To McDonald's, that's not a restaurant spot. It's a long-term asset. Over time, land values rise, rents rise, equity compounds. Even if sales dip, McDonald's gets paid because rent never stops. Even during the 2008 crash, even during the 2020 lockdowns, McDonald's still collected. Here's a stat that'll melt your McFlurry. Only 5% of McDonald's stores are company-owned. The rest, 95%, are run by franchisees. Why? Because in 2021, company-owned stores brought in $9.7 billion, with just $1.7 billion. Profit franchise-owned stores made $13.1 billion, with $10.7 billion in profit. That's 80% plus margin. McDonald's figured it out. Let others run the restaurants. We'll own the land, collect the rent, and print the money. Still think it's just burgers? Let's break down the secret side hustles. Toys. McDonald's is the world's largest toy distributor. Over 1.5 billion toys via Happy Meals every year. Drinks. Fountain drinks cost pennies, sold for $1 plus. Margin? Close to 90%. Licensing. That golden M is a billion-dollar brand. Want to use it? You'll pay. Celebrity collabs, Travis Scott, BTS, Cardi B, limited meals that go viral, huge short-term boosts in revenue and brand engagement. Every Happy Meal toy, every Coke, every viral menu item, it all feeds the same machine. More foot traffic equals more sales, equals more royalties, equals more rent. McDonald's isn't a restaurant company. It's a finance, real estate, and franchise hybrid. Franchisees fund the build-out, they run the operations, they pay the rent, they pay the royalty. And McDonald's, they own the land, they own the brand, they own the system. It's not about flipping burgers, it's about flipping real estate into generational wealth. Even their former CEO said it outright, "We are not a food company, we are a real estate company." So next time you grab a Happy Meal, realize this: you're not just eating fast food, you're participating in one of the most brilliant business models in corporate history. McDonald's took $1 burgers, turned them into billion-dollar buildings, and created a global empire where others take the risk, but they collect the cash. It's not a restaurant, it's a real estate kingdom, a system so powerful it runs on autopilot, all behind a smiling clown and a sesame seed bun. That's the crazy truth about McDonald's. It's not a burger company. It's a real estate empire in disguise.